So what did you do?
Did a hole.
4, 3, 2, 1. Lift off! Hello, everybody!
Hey,
Where's
Dick.
my brother? Where's my brother? There he is. There's my brother. And we've got a special guest this week. We have Stephanie Reynolds, the favorite girl in my life. Hello, Stephanie.
So are we ready to go, Dick?
And here we are ready to go in this extravaganza with excitement and amazement and everything that goes with it. So here we go!
A long time ago, when the earth was green, there was more kinds of animals than you'd ever seen. They'd run around free while the earth was being born, but the loveliest of them all was the unicorn. There was green alligators and long-necked geese, some humpty-back camels and some chimpanzees, some cats and rats and elephants, but sure as you're born.
Normal. Suddenly there was silence. Isn't that wonderful?
Do you want to know what we're going to do this week?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
What's on this week? Well, first of all, I should be asking you how your week was, and I'll be telling you how my week was. And then we're going to look at some old videos from the past, which I always love looking at. And then we've got Ask a Question. We'll be asking somebody a question, maybe two questions. And then we're going to sing Sometimes When We Touch, which is one of my favorite songs. It's lovely. Lots of emotion in there. And then birthdays. Do we have any birthdays coming up yesterday or today or tomorrow or whenever? And then the Mountains of Mourne, which we recorded during the week. And the most requested song, I Wouldn't Trade You for the World, we shall do towards the end. So that's all to look forward to now. And anyway, Dick, how was your week? Did you have a lovely week?
Well, I had an interesting week because, let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen, believe it or not, I have got a new telly.
Wow.
Now, I didn't realise, I'm probably all the same, that I didn't realise the television I had, which I thought was smack up to date, and it was fantastic and wonderful. The three kids clubbed together and they bought it for a Christmas birthday, and I thought it was about a couple of years ago. No, 10 years ago. Wow. And of course they're laughing and saying it's all old technology, Daddy, but eventually it gave up the ghost. It just wouldn't switch on, as simple as that. It took 5 minutes to switch on, then it took 10 minutes, then 20 minutes, and half an hour, then 3 hours. And we got fed up waiting for it, so we went down and bought a new one. And this new one is all singing, all dancing, an incredible bit of kit.
I went out, just to post a letter. And I went down into Welland, and I saw, the postman's van was there, and he was emptying letters from the post box. So I went up behind him, and he jumped out. You think I was going to mug him or something, but he jumped out of the way, and I suddenly realised I had no mask on. And anyway, I threw the letter into the letterbox because the letterbox was open, and had a little laugh with him, and then we went off. I went home, back home, and that was my exciting journey out for the week. That's all I've done all week.
Yeah, I've got to say to everybody, please, because Zoom is a very strange animal. It doesn't do what you want it to do sometimes, and it's behaving very oddly today. And some people I can't mute. I can't. So please be respectful of other people on here, and please keep yourself muted unless you're asked to speak. I can't do it automatically from here. I don't know why. Well, that's what's happening. So, Colin, as I was saying, people love these videos. It seems to show what life was like when we were all having fun and there was no COVID about. And this one is really fascinating. It's New Year's Eve in 2015, 2016. Do you want to have a look at it, Con, and everybody?
Love it, yeah.
Here we
Yeah,
go
let's
then.
have a look.
Off we go.
Chicken, that looks lovely. Oh, we're having a wonderful time. It's absolutely gorgeous. And I do adore John's stripy shirt. That is a stripy shirt.
I have been waiting all evening for you to comment on this shirt.
And that is cold cure salmon. Never heard of it before, never tasted it before. That's going to be wonderful. That's lobster beast. What are you having? Oh, pate.
Pate with foie gras.
Looks lovely.
There's 1 minute to go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's 12 o'clock. It's 12 o'clock. It's 12 o'clock. It's 12 o'clock.
It's 12 o'clock.
Well, I'm here at home in Newhall, just looking at this tree which is blown down. One of the many trees. The wind has taken its toll. Not much other damage though. It's fallen down between these trees. We have some water just running down. One big tree fallen down. Well, there you go. That's the extent of the damage here at Newhall. Thank goodness we survived. But some of the poor people here, especially a friend of mine, Lee Shaw, he had his house completely damaged. And my thoughts are with him coming into the new year. Hope you all have a lovely, happy new year. God bless. Bye. Stay safe.
Isn't this fascinating? Kingfisher on the quay. Now that is very, very tasty. I love this. It's a whole new rebuild. You wouldn't believe it. It looks all tatty and horrible, and it's a complete rebuild. I reckon it's very quirky inside. Can't wait to see inside. There we go. See what it's like. Oh, isn't this lovely? Look at that. Oh, isn't this gorgeous? This is quite gorgeous. And they're having great success, so well done them. Look at the bar. And out this way, and there's the lake. Swans on the lake. Can't wait to have lunch. I'd love to tell you what the lunch is about, but unfortunately there's been a power cut. Look at that, we're all in the dark. But the lovely thing is, if there's a power cut, there's no tills. So it looks like we're having a nice candlelit lunch for free. And many more. It's Emma Kloski's birthday! Oh, is that lovely? And it's dark! It's dark! And the management is going to bring the Dom Perignon any second.
Well, there's no golf today, that's for sure. But it's lovely here up in Yorkshire. Hope to see you soon. Bye.
Oh.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Michael. Happy birthday to you.
And Rebecca's birthday yesterday. Hey.
Oh, hang on, I need to film it now. Has he got another one?
What's the birthday perspective?
Yeah.
Hey.
Oh, it's
birthday
because
cake.
that
One more sparkle, please.
Hey, happy birthday to Michael and Rebecca for yesterday.
Absolutely cream.
Fantastic.
Beginning with a 3 syllables. Amazing! Finally, the blockbuster we've all been waiting for. You've outdanced and outdone Travolta and everyone else. Jay, you drive me crazy!
Yeah, now, watch this.
Oh, hello.
The judges' scores are in. Craig Revel, Len Green, Bruno Taglioni,
3 10s across the board, giving you 59. Joy Mariano, that's amazing.
What do you think of that, Con? Does
Very
that
good.
make everybody envious of what we got up to in 2016? Perhaps next year, back 2022, maybe back to where we were in 2016. What's next, Con?
Well, what would you like to do well that you cannot do well?
So who are we going to ask? Who are we going to ask, Con? Let's put it onto gallery view. We'll have a little look. Who haven't we had on lately? But Joy Henderson, I'm looking at you. The question is, what would you like to do well that you cannot do well at the moment?
Go into a shop.
You do that well ordinarily.
No. I do my shopping online, and all I want to do is just to go into the shop. Go into Asda or anywhere.
Well, I think
Yeah.
you're allowed to go into Asda.
Weird.
That's lovely. That's lovely. Well, Stephen, what do you think? I'm looking at you.
Hello?
Oh, Stephen is there now. Stephen
Sorry.
is there now. No problem, Stephen, at all. Just shout when I finish the question. And then, so what would you like to do well that you can't do well at the moment?
It would be nice to go and see a Bachelors concert.
Ah, what a lovely idea. That's a lovely idea. Go for that.
Yeah.
And then what would you like to do? Tell us all about it. What would the experience would be like?
Amazing. It was when I last saw you in Eastbourne.
Yeah?
Absolutely amazing.
That's
Because
lovely.
I'm only down the road from you, Dick. So
Con, there's an interesting question for you.
how do I get
What
me
would
off?
you like to do well, Con, that you can't do well now?
I'd love to be able to play the piano.
Well, you can play the piano, Con.
Right, I've forgotten more than I learned. Oh dear. I used to be able to play the piano very well.
Yeah.
But, I'm out of practice. So,
You poor thing. Well, Kathy, I'm looking at you now. I actually love answering this question myself. What advice would you give if you met yourself at age 12? What advice would you give yourself if you met yourself at age 12?
If you're able to travel back in time, like
oh my goodness, I don't know. I've had a good life.
and I've no regrets at all. So I really don't know what advice I would give myself.
Really?
Sorry.
That's very, very interesting. So you've no advice to give yourself whatsoever. Do you know something? That is exactly what I say. I was asked the question the other night, and I said to people, I said, what I would do, my advice to myself at age 12 would be to find and seek out a chap called Dick Clusky. And then live your life exactly as Dick Clusky. But Carol, I'm looking at you and I'm asking you the same question. What advice would you give yourself if you met yourself at age 12?
I think I'd advise myself to get more involved in things, take part in more things. I held back a lot because I was so shy. So I think that would be, and travel, maybe look into traveling more. Sort of was very shy, so I didn't do a lot really. So I think that's what I'd say to myself at that age. I mean, I've been happy, I've been okay, but yeah, that's what I do.
Oh, lovely.
Get out more, doing things.
That's a nice one, Carol. But John, over in Ireland, I'm looking at you, John, and I can't find you actually. I'm looking for you, and I can't find you on the screen. Are you there, John Deeney? Yeah.
I am indeed. Yeah.
You are. There you are. There, Johnny. Yeah. Yeah. John, you answer the same question. What advice? Because John and I went to the same school, ladies and gentlemen, and he's the man that runs the Past Pupils Association. He's the man that organised for me to be awarded Past Pupil of the Year 2 years ago. And Con came over with me, and if you remember, John,
yeah,
he was stopped at the airport because his name was wrong on the ticket.
Yeah.
Ryanair.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? But John,
crazy.
What do you think? What do you think? What advice would you give yourself if you met yourself at the age of 12?
Yeah, never start smoking. I smoked for 37 years. I gave them up 10 years ago, and I wouldn't be alive today if I was still smoking, definitely.
Really?
But if I met myself at 12, I'd just say never smoke. Other than that, I'm totally happy with my life.
Yeah. Oh. Brilliant, John. That's lovely. And listen, Con and I...
You would have saved.
and Con and I will make a promise to you, and I'll get Con to promise now. Con, will you promise that the very next annual dinner of the Past Pupils of O'Connell's that you'll come over with me?
Yeah, I'd love to. Love to.
Brilliant.
And I'll make sure my name is right on the ticket. Because what it was, on the ticket it said Con Clusky.
Yeah.
And on my passport it said Conlet Clusky.
Yeah, it's just incredible.
Oh, two stupid people at the gate wouldn't let me in.
Yeah.
So, anyway, there you go.
But my name was exactly the same, John. Mine was, I booked the ticket under Dick Clusky.
Yeah.
And on my passport and everything else was Declan Clusky.
Yeah.
And there was no problem with me. For some unknown reason, they took a dislike to Con.
Yeah, incredible.
And Con, what's next?
Well, you're going to show a video that we did, which I enjoyed doing, actually. It was very good. Lovely song called Sometimes When We Touch. And the sentiments in the song are lovely. Sometimes when we touch, the honesty is too much, because I have to close my eyes.
You ask me if I love you, and I choke on my reply. I'd rather hurt you honestly than mislead you with a lie. And who am I to judge you in what you say or do? only just beginning to see the real you. And sometimes when we touch, the honesty's too much, and I have to close my eyes and hide. I wanna hold you till I die, till we both break down and cry. I wanna hold you till the fear in me subsides. Romance and all its strategy leaves me battling with my pride. But through the insecurity, some tenderness survives. I'm just another rider, still trapped within my truth. A hesitant prize fighter, still trapped within my youth. And sometimes when we touch, the honesty's too much, and I have to close my eyes and hide. I wanna hold you till I die, till we both break down and cry. I wanna hold you till the fear in me subsides. At times I'd like to break you and drag you to your knees. At times I'd like to break through and hold you endlessly. Oh, sometimes when we touch, the honesty's too much, and I have to close my eyes and hide. I wanna hold you till I die, till we both break down and cry. I wanna hold you till the fear in me
That was rather good, Con. You're in fantastic voice. Do you know, nobody would believe that you are 56 years of age.
I know.
Nobody would believe that. It's incredible. And now what we've got to do quickly is get onto the gallery view so that we can see the applause. Look at that applause, Con. They're all going berserk. Oh, that is fantastic. Look at that. And John's going mad. That's terrific. And where's Steve? Steve's going mad as well. That's lovely. So, listen.
I must say you did a lovely job on the
Did I? Thank you very much, Con. I appreciate that. And by the way, I know that John Leyland is exceptionally interested in how we put all the music together and everything. But if anybody is interested in how the technology of Con singing up in Elland, which is the way it happens, Con does all that up in Elland, and I do all my stuff in Eastbourne, and then we put it together. So if anybody wants to know anything, just drop me an email, deck@makehits.com. I think everybody knows that email address now, deck@makehits.com, and I'll let you know. Of course I will. But Con, what's next? I think it's the birthdays, is it?
Birthdays.
Do you want to ask Lynn about the birthdays?
I can't see Lynn on my screen. But
well, we have got a birthday. So
Lynn, you weren't asked to speak yet. You have to wait. You have to wait your turn, and respectfully, because there's two elderly gentlemen here, and you have to wait until I say, Lynn, would you like to tell us about the birthdays?
Lynn's very good at the birthdays.
Well, we've got Avril Haddon. She's got a birthday. She was in our meeting, and I think she's left now, but we can still get a cake for her. She'll be watching the playback. And the other thing, today is the 51st anniversary, my 51st anniversary of being a fan of yours.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's two amazing things. I don't know how we're going to get that into the song. I'll try, Lynn. But could we have the magic cake, please? And here is the magic cake. And Lynn, you have got to get ready to do the 1, 2, 3 and blow. Now look at this cake. And this is for Avril, is it? For Avril?
Yes.
And from yourself. Now, happy birthday to Avril and to Lynn for being 51 years a fan. Happy birthday to you, Avril, and to Lynn for being 51 years a fan. Happy birthday to Avril and Lynn for being a fan for 51 years. Happy birthday to you and many more. Now, 1, 2, 3. Are you ready, Lynn? You go 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. Happy birthday, Avril.
Whoa!
Oh, wow. I think you're giving the game away.
But my assistant is used. We could see you, Sandy. We could actually see you. And she's smiling at me. She's smiling at me. That's a good portent for the rest of the day. That was lovely, Lynn. And thank you. And listen, what did you think of your Sometimes When We Touch? Because that song was actually a suggestion of Lynn.
It was absolutely beautiful, really fantastic. And, you know, being a fan of yours from 51 years ago, I had the television to myself that night. My parents used to go on a wine circle, and I had to stay in and look after my 5-year-old sister who played up something rotten, and that is an understatement. So I bundled her into the bedroom, shut the door on her and turned the television on, and you came on. And it didn't occur to me that 28 years later I'll be running your fan club, and 51 years later I'll be taking part in your Sunday afternoon live Zoom shows. And while I'm on that subject, I must say that we all love what you're doing for us every Sunday, and we all really appreciate all the work you put into it through the week and the way you present the videos. It's all wonderful for us, and it really helps us to get through the lockdown blues. So thank you for everything you do.
An absolute pleasure.
There we are. And anyway, Percy French, he was a student at Trinity College. He studied, what did he study? Surveying, that was it. And anyway, he finished up, he played the banjo of all instruments. And he finished up working for CIE, which is like British Rail over here. It's the Irish equivalent over in Ireland. And he worked for the railway company over there, traveling all over the place, surveying different things. And every town he went to, or every place he went, he wrote a song about it. And I remember one of the ones was Paddy Riley. And he went to a place called Ballyjames-Duff. And the postman there had been delivering post for years and years and years. And all of a sudden, one day, he just disappeared. And nobody knew where's he gone? Nobody knew. So he wrote a song, "Come back, Paddy Riley to Ballyjames-Duff. Come back, Paddy Riley to me." And the other one he wrote about the train. You know, are you right there, Michael? Are you right? Do you think because the trains are always breaking down in Ireland? And I remember he did this thing where the train, he was just getting on the train in Westland Row, I think it was. And they're waiting there, and it was supposed to go out at 2:30, and came to about 2:45, and the train still hadn't pulled out. So he got out of the train, he said to the guard who was supposed to blow his whistle and wave the flag to let the train go. And he said, what's the problem? He said, well, the P in my whistle is broken. He said, it's gone. I've lost my P. And I can't blow, and the train can't go unless I blow my whistle. So, does anybody have a P? You know, so anyway, they got this young lad. I said, go down to the local shop and buy a packet of peas. So the kid went off and he came back again. He said, they only had split peas. So, okay, let's try that. So he put half the pea into the whistle and he blew the whistle, waved the flag, and half the train pulled out. So that was Percy French. He was a lovely guy. And this was a song written by him.
Well, it's your ambition, Con, isn't it? You tell me this all the time, to actually record an album of Percy French songs and somehow do a tour of Ireland talking about the songs.
Indeed, yeah. I'd love to do that. But anyway, that's on the back burner at the moment.
And just on another tack, Con, some comments here. Congratulations on your new TV deck. I got a new gas fire, says John Hutchinson. And somebody's saying John Stephen's answer to my question was lovely. That was terrific. And Lynn, of course, saying that was fantastic and well done, and that was lovely. So, Con, shall we get on with The Mountains of Mourne? Which is a gorgeous
another
song.
lovely song written by Percy French, because he finished up touring all over the place with his banjo and singing.
That's
and he obviously
right,
went to London.
Yeah.
And this is what he wrote.
Oh, Mary, this London's a wonderful sight, where the people are working by day and by night. They don't sow potatoes, nor barley, nor wheat, but there's gangs of them digging for gold in the street. At least when I asked them, that's what I was told. So I just took a hand at this digging for gold. But for all that I found there, sure I might as well be where the mountains of Mourne sweep down to the sea. I believe that when writing a wish you expressed as to how the fine ladies in London were dressed, well, if you'll believe me, when asked to a ball, they don't wear no tops to their dresses at all. Oh, I've seen them myself, and you could not, in truth, say if they were bound for a ball or a band. Don't be starting them fashions now, Mary McCree, where the mountains of Mourne sweep down to the sea. Mary, oh Mary, Mary, oh Mary. You remember young Thomas McLaughlin, of course. Well, he's over here now, at the head of the force.
I met him today. I was crossing the Strand, and he stopped the whole street with one wave of his hand. And there we stood talking of days that are gone, while the whole population of London looked on. But for all his great powers, sure he's wishful like me to be back where dark morn sweeps down to the sea. Well, there's beautiful girls here, ah, never you mind, with beautiful shapes nature never designed, and lovely complexions, all roses and cream. But Lachlan remarked, with regard to the same, that if at those roses you ventured to sip, sure the colour would all come away on your lip. So I'll wait for my wild rose, who's waiting for me, where the mountains of morn sweep down to the sea, where the mountains of morn sweep down to the sea.
Applause.
I tell you what, your voice is, I think it's getting better with age, better with age. And listen, we've got to see, let's see what the applause is like.
Oh, fantastic.
What's the applause?
Wow.
Oh, listen, Con, they're throwing, not £50 notes, they're throwing £100 notes. £100 notes they're throwing. That's lovely. And John Doherty, let's be quiet everybody for a second. John Doherty, being an Irishman, what did you think of that song?
Absolutely fantastic. Just brilliant.
Did you like that? Did you like that?
Absolutely, yeah, really did.
Do you know, John, there's a funny thing, and you'd appreciate this. I always say to people, because I write the arrangements and the orchestrations, do all the recording and everything, then Con just puts a lead vocal on. It's easy stuff he does. But I always say to people, John, when you get a beautiful song like that, what I write, it just flows out. It's so easy. It just flows out of you. You know,
absolutely.
The power.
Yeah, beautiful. That was absolutely beautiful.
Ah, that's good. That's good, John.
Really lovely.
That's a lovely background you have there, John. Is that? Then?
Yeah, it's a photo. There was a question earlier on about what would I like to be able to do that I can't do at the moment.
Yes.
Right? And since I retired, my hobby is photography.
Oh.
And that's a photograph that I took during the last, in September of last year, when we were able to travel within our own county. Okay.
Yeah.
But at the moment, I can't travel there. I can only go as far as 5 kilometers.
Wow.
So my answer to that previous question was, I'd love to be able to get out of my own county. I'll just look for a minute just to show you the photograph.
Okay. Oh, it's lovely.
It's the actual photograph.
Yeah.
So it's just, I just like photography.
Where is that?
It's I don't know if you know the place. It's Bornabrina Waterworks.
Bornabrina, no, well.
Know it well.
Yeah.
We used to go there. My father used to bring us to Glendalough.
Oh, yeah.
There was like a tour we used to do, and Bornabrina, of course we went to Bornabrina, and we used to look at that as kids. But listen, John, John Doherty, you'll be amazed because we have John Leyland, and John Leyland is a top photographer. Now, John, would you like to unmute yourself, and would you like to give us an absolutely professional critique of John Doheney's photograph? John Leyland.
I'll duck out of the way.
It's perfect composition. I would say he probably took it using f8 because the depth of field is absolutely superb, and it's been done with a pretty decent quality camera too, I would say. Yeah. I'd be proud of that one.
Thank you very much, John. And you're right. Welcome. It was exactly f8. It was taken with a Fuji X-T2, and I had a filter on it, just a graduated filter, just to blot down the sky a little bit, you know. And
yeah,
it's really good. Beautiful. Like yourself, John. It's beautiful.
That's good. I love the old photography. Keeps me. I was going to say keeps me out of the pubs, but I mean, there's something else keeping me out of the pub at the moment.
Yeah, just very quickly, if I could give some advice to me, age 12, it would be not to spend so much money on Bachelors records and Bachelors concerts, so I could buy a better camera earlier.
Well, I got to say to John Doheney that John Leyland is an absolutely astonishing, and I do mean astonishing, photographer of steam trains. Big thing on steam trains, and the stuff he does, and he produces a calendar at Christmas, and it's just, the business. But Con, keep talking there for a minute, and we'll get up, because we're coming to the end of the show, Con.
I know. Well, I tell him about John, because John is interested in trains, because he was superintendent or chief superintendent, whatever it is, right? He was very high up in the railway police, and he was based in Leeds. It was not far from where I live. And anyway, he retired from there, and I remember one time my son Michael and his wife were traveling somewhere to London or something. And John sent them off. He gave them the full Monty with the uniform and everything. And everybody was saying, who the hell are those two? Who the hell were they? The chief of police coming out and saluting them and everything. Anyway, they really appreciated that, John. It was lovely. Thank you very much.
Con, John Hutchinson has just said in a chat, and don't forget, people, you can use the chat down below, right in the middle there, and just chat to each other, chat to me, chat to Con. He says he saw singing that Mountains of Mourne unaccompanied at the Futurist in Scarborough about 1979. Yeah, love the caps. Let me a little secret. That cap was my daughter's, actually, my daughter's. And I wanted to use, John Doheney will appreciate this. I got a fella to make me a dudeen to do Irish songs. He knows what a dudeen is. It's an old Shanakees pipe. The old storytellers used to sit around the fire. You'd invite them in for a few bob, and they'd tell you stories around the fire. And they always had a dudeen, which was a white clay pipe. But I couldn't find it to record that, and I've now found it, John. So I'm going to use it. But John Hutchinson wants to ask us, may I ask a question if you have time? Is there a book about Irish popular music which you would recommend? I would love to read it, and if there is, and your recommendation would be all I need. Beautiful version of a beautiful song. Yes, there is, and Con will tell you that you have one, Con, on Percy French, don't you?
Yeah, I've got the book by Percy French. Well, all Percy French's, and some little stories in there as well. If you look for Percy French, and
on Google probably, Con. Yeah,
Percy French. Yeah,
Percy French is the man to look for, and it's wonderful stuff. But Con, so shall we get on to the most requested song, Con?
Yeah.
Are you going to introduce this?
Indeed, yeah. And we filmed it up at my house. We sat around the fire, and we sang it, and it's a lovely song. It's I Wouldn't Trade You for the World.
And here
And it's a lovely song, and everybody requested it.
I wouldn't trade you for the world. All the pearls in the sea, pearls in the sea. All the treasures of a kingdom. That's how much you mean to me. You fill all my sweetest dreams with a love so divine, so divine. You're like precious gems and spices. It's so wonderful you're mine. I love your tender lips. My heart is at your fingertips. I love the starlight in your eyes more than you will ever realize. I wouldn't trade you for the world or the heavens above. Heavens above. I have heaven here on earth, dear, since you've given me your love. I wouldn't trade you for the world or the heavens above. Heavens above. I have heaven here on earth, dear, since you've given me your love. Your love. Your love. Your
It's a lovely song. I love
I'll
that.
tell you what, I wish we could get back to making the videos just like that. Let's see what the applause is like.
Wow.
See, as everybody's shouting and screaming. Look at that, Linda's going mad. Linda with a Y. Stephen's gone berserk. Marjorie, oh, Marjorie over in America is going berserk. Catherine Coates is going mad. Oh, and look at Chaspel. Everybody is going berserk. That's terrific.
stuff.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much, everybody. I'll tell you what I'm amazed at that nobody mentions.
What's that?
Now, if you listen on when we do the replay, listen to, say, Mountains of Mourne. And those high voices, where do they come from? Now, when I sent Con the backtrack to put his lead voice on, he said, oh, when Victoria came in with the singing, Con, that was me. I could see right up there. See, I got a very high voice and I got a very low voice. Because they reckon that the lower you can sing in falsetto, for a man, not a woman, a man, the lower you can sing as a bass singer, which I am, my father was before me, and the higher you can sing in falsetto. So I could sing right up there, just like Michael Jackson. And that's how I do all those right up there. Isn't that lovely? And I even fooled my brother.
I know.
But Con, would you like to tell us what are we going to get up to next week? And tell them about the replay.
Well, the replay should be on by tomorrow. Deck will be busy making sure it's all correct and right and everything, cutting out any bits of stuff that's not proper and right. And next week then, I'm looking forward to next week, because Yeah, and Sweet 16, we're going to have a go at. When you were sweet 16. And then one of my favorite songs, which we sing on stage, and it always goes well, is Somewhere. There's a place for us.
And we're going to dedicate that, Con, to our dear fan, who is our oldest fan, who passed away last week. So that's going to be dedicated to Rosie. And that'll be for, Lynn's pleased about that. That's good. And this is for Rosie. And how old was Rosie, Lynn?
She was 93.
93.
Lovely age.
Yeah,
Lovely.
and her funeral will be March the 8th. And they're going to play I Believe as the first song. I don't think they could get Somewhere played, probably because you can't get it on the internet.
Yeah.
That's lovely, Lynn. Thank you very much. So, Con, tell us a little bit more maybe about what we're going to do next week.
Yeah, well, we'll see what we, as usual, what we get up to. See if I can get out of the house and do something exciting during the week that I can tell you about next Sunday. And anyway, looking forward to that. And obviously, you and I should be doing some videotaping, video recording.
And Con, I'm thinking I found a lovely new camera. John Leyland and John Doherty would be interested in this video camera, because I'm quite disgusted that Con's camera, which is a Panasonic all singing, all dancing, has much better quality than what I use down
There
here.
it is there.
And
Lovely-
I'm quite
lovely
disgusted
camera.
about that. That's his camera there.
Yeah.
There's something funny going on with your camera.
I know, I don't know what's
don't know
going
what
on.
it is. But maybe John Doherty can give me some advice on, I've got a Nikon D3200, which I try with great disastrous results, try to use for videoing, but can't seem to get around it at all. But anyway, there we are. So shall we say goodbye to everybody, Con?
Yes,
and see you
I'm
next
just-
week.
I'm just
And
trying
don't
to
forget the
sort this
replay.
out.
Go on. So listen, it's goodbye from me here in Eastbourne, and from Con.
It's goodbye from me in Elland in Yorkshire. Bye-bye, everybody.
See you next
safe,
week.
Stay safe, and hopefully we'll all be vaccinated very soon.
I wouldn't trade you for the world. All the pearls in the sea, pearls in the sea. All the treasures of a kingdom. That's how much you mean to me. You fill all my sweetest dreams.